So if you're an active Gwent player, you likely know by now that in 2024, CDPR is going to be sunsetting Gwent, which means that 2023 is the last year of active tournaments, card drops, and official support and balance changes from CDPR. So they talked about a project coming in after 2023 called Gwenfinity, and this article here is going to explain part 1 of that action plan for Gwenfinity. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to be talking about that for the most of the video today. However, there is a summary of 2022 and a roadmap of 2023 that we'll quickly skim over, okay? If you guys want to follow along, I'll put the article link in the description below, and they even have a video talking about it if you'd like to watch that as well. But let's get into it now here. So what happened in 2022? Well, we had 4 card drops, adding 86 new cards to the game, and they made all 8 journeys re-released in the Eternal format. So what they mean by that is now they're all available to toggle through and complete at your own leisure. Assuming you've purchased them, you can get the premium rewards as well, which is great. And there's no fear of missing out anymore. So before, you'd have a certain period of time to complete them, and then we thought that they would disappear forever. And for seasons where you didn't play as much, then that really made you suffer, right? You thought you were missing out on all these great rewards that you paid for and you couldn't finish. So I like the way that they went about this one here. We have 88 reworks to old cards that happened over the last year. Reducing power creep, bringing old unplayable cards back into the game is always a good thing. And they've added 30 different game strategies that were targeted. So multi-gang syndicate, we had Self-Wound, Northern Realms Knights. Northern Realms Knights actually became a staple archetype for Northern Realms. Multi-Gang Syndicate as well became one of the only viable decks the faction has, and Self-Wound's just been crazy since a lot of the reworks. So I'm pretty happy with these changes overall. I think they were good for the game. We had a new mechanic allowing us to further increase interactions. So Infusion was added to the game, and fun fact, I actually was the one to reveal the first card that had Infusion. So Chameleon was the first card of the card release for the Black Sun expansion, and it was a card that's actually in the Harmony meta list right now. So I believe that Infusion added a lot more fun to the game and just one more thing to think about, and it certainly made us really consider having that Purify in the deck if we didn't before. So I think that was just a great addition to the game overall. At first I was skeptical, but now I love it. Now, they introduced a sink for excess scraps in the form of fast travel purchase option for journeys. I didn't know about that because I already own them all, but I do know about the converter for reward points. So if you go to your reward tree, you'll see in the very middle top, there's a converter where you can put your keys in, and you can get meteor powder, you can get scraps, you can get ore, you name it. So use that at your own discretion if you have all your nodes completed on all the trees and you just want to go about getting some quick resources so that you can make some things that you want to do, right? I sink a lot into that these days to try to get the collection premium. Now, a bunch of seasonal events. I'm not going to talk too much about these guys because I know nothing about them. I am not a big seasonal player, and at this point I regret it. So we're going to be doing a little more seasonal in the coming year of 2023. For all you guys that just like to mess around who've been asking me about seasonal, then this confirms that question that you had. I'm looking forward to trying more of that stuff just while we can, okay? Now, Gwent Masters Season 4 was this year as well. Great time, and then they celebrated the 20th anniversary for CDPR. Congratulations, guys. I'm surprised it's been that long already, you know? Time flies. Now, what didn't happen this year? So they talked about making 20 tokens premium. They didn't get the animations done for the year, so that's definitely something they're going to double back on and get done before the game sunset, which is great. Another thing that I was looking forward to is the draft mode being changed. It's very dated. A lot of the packages don't make sense because of the drastic changes to the cards and their balancing. So, you know, some cards don't even work together at all anymore because they've completely been reworked, for example. Now, I do think that they should go more towards the old arena mode, and if you've been playing Gwent for a while, you'll know what I mean. I think that the entire deck you build should be RNG. So it should give you a few cards to pick from, and you pick a single card, it moves on to the next one. No more bundles, because this is what's going to survive with the future of Gwent. We don't have to worry too much about it. If you're picking individual cards, it's a lot easier to update the game if you're just picking one card at a time opposed to bundles, right? So hopefully they take that in consideration. And also, what I liked about Arena was the risk. If you lose, you get kicked out. 3 losses, you're done. Whereas Draft, it just keeps going and going, and it doesn't feel like there's that pressure to perform, right? So that's why I'm really hoping that they bring Arena back. Okay, and maybe it's time, right? All archetypes are valid. Although I'd argue this a little bit, I think in the right setting, all archetypes can be valid. I think that for the first time in a very long time, most of them can take you to pro rank, which is an accomplishment, I think, for devs. However, I don't think most of them can allow you to compete at a high level in pro rank, but that's a different conversation, and that's expected that there's going to be a dedicated meta every month, right? So that's not all bad. For example, I took an all god carryover deck into pro rank this season, and you would have thought that that was impossible maybe before. So lots of cool stuff has happened to the game to make a lot more things playable. Now, what are the plans for 2023? So we have 3 card drops and 2 official tournaments. In the 3 card drops, we have 72 new cards, 24, 36, and 12. So we're not going to be seeing cards for about 4 months from now, guys, but I think that's fine. There's going to be a lot of balance changes before then, and 24 cards at once is enough to tie us over for a few months, because in this 3-month span coming up, tons of cards, right? We're getting 48 new cards in the span of 3 months, and that's going to make the last 6 months of the supported game so much fun. I would hope so, right? So we get 72 new cards. We get tons of balancing for all the new cards and existing cards over the next year. I'm hoping that they put a lot of concentration and effort into doing that so that we come out with the best product possible by the end of the support from CDPR. And there's that, right? Looking forward to Gwent Masters. Probably going to be more of a spectator myself. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to live that dream of competing in the Masters, or better yet, winning the Masters. But, you know, I'm still going to be doing the content, guys. So that's just the way it's going to have to be, okay? I think I'm meant to be doing content for this game instead of competing at a high level like that. So there's that. What are the plans for 2024 and beyond? So there won't be a whole lot going on, but there'll be some things going on, right? So they want to complete the card pool, right? This is going to be the final bit of cards that we're getting added to the game. And from there, it's just about maintenance, right? They're going to let the balancing for the game rest in the hands of the players, and they're working on a system now to get it done. I think that it's going to be pretty cool, because it looks like they're going to have some sort of in-game voting feature where we can go in and select what cards we'd like to have changed. And right now they're just working on the tools to make that possible. Really cool stuff. I'm excited about this last one here. So balance changes aren't going to be enough to keep us coming back to the game. For me, it probably is, but maybe for some other people, it's not. And they're developing a new progression system that will encourage players to experiment with more decks. So basically, if you go and play certain cards and have different restrictions with deck building, then you might be able to get some rewards. So these are going to be little things that they add to the game as more or less challenges, I think, for us as players. And, you know, some cards that you thought were a joke several years ago or just not optimized, you're going to be trying to find ways to put in your deck and find all these new synergies that we haven't found in the past. So I think that this part's going to be really good from a content creation perspective. So just another reason for me to stay at it after 2024, right? They don't have any organized events from CDPR after 2023, but we can do our own tournaments. And I'm thinking about doing something, you know, Q's Cup or something like that, just to have some kind of tournament or league going on. So let me know in the comments if you guys might be interested in something like that. as long as there's interest in playing in it, there's interest for me to hold it, and we can do that together. It'd be tons of fun. Now, Gwenfinity, okay? We call this set of initiatives aimed at ensuring the game can exist without our active input. Project Gwenfinity, the name, reflects our intentions to allow players to enjoy this game for years from now, okay? We believe that it's the most player-focused solution to empower the community this way. So in order to make it work, we need support from the true fans. I mean, we're all here, right? None of this will make sense with players who want to continue their Gwent journey, without players who want to continue their Gwent journey and are willing to make the game better. Guys, this is something that we all have an input for. If you go on Reddit, if you go on Facebook, if you go on Twitter, if you go on Twitch, if you go on YouTube, like everyone has an opinion about how this game should work. Now it's time to speak up. They're asking for it. Now, they know and we know, so it should happen. As long as we want this to happen, it's going to happen. Okay? We're making this announcement about our long-term plans now. It's the right thing to do. Ups and downs, you know how it is. Let's have a last great year, guys, and make it count. Now, based on all of this, I believe that they're done with the game. I don't think that they're going to go back to supporting it full-time like they did right now. However, if there, for whatever reason, was a huge influx in players and bigger content creators started taking on the game and the numbers just shot up, that could change. And that could be possible with the support from the community. You look at games that aren't even competitive, like Slay the Spire and things like that. I mean, obviously we're comparing roguelikes to CCGs, but, you know, the community is so diehard, and the game's been out for years but still has that following. So I'm hoping that we can do the same thing with Gwent and really push this into the future, right? I don't want to give up on the game. It's been a part of my life for so long, so there's that. And we'll finish it off properly. Memories, friendships been forged, marriages being made. That's actually so true, right? Met some of the people that I talk to more than anyone through this community, and I've seen other creators get married, start dating, all types of things, right? So yeah, definitely a special place that we're in here with the game. Now, let's keep it positive, guys. I want to hear what you think about this plan in the comments below. And yeah, what do you want to see before the end of official support from CDPR? Let me know. See you soon.